I'm about to show you a video at Bishop John Wick on Instagram. You can't see this video on YouTube as well. He does a podcast. He's going to talk about the boule. Pay attention.
Pharisees, the Orsini's, the Colonos, and the Farneses. Now, remember the painting of the Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. Now, we were taught that these men, supposedly men, were the 12 apostles. And we were taught that the individual in the middle of that 1400 painting was Jesus the Christ. But in the painting, the individual portraying Christ is not Christ himself. It's a woman by the name of Julia Farnese with the G. On her right-hand side, which would be to the left when you're looking at the painting, is not the Apostle St. John. It's her adolescent daughter, Laura Farnese, who was the illegitimate child of Pope Alexander VI.
Facts.
And his sons, besides Giovanni Borgia, one of his other sons.
Y'all know that name.
This individual was the the painting of Christ. Wait a minute now, I'm confused. Wait a minute now. Cesare Borgia, the painting from the chest on up with long hair, with a kind of a brown beige background looking like this, that's not the Christ of the Gospels.
No.
That photo was painted by Michelangelo, the second cousin, of Cesare Borgia, and also the homosexual lover of both Cesare Borgia and Leonardo da Vinci.
Message.
Painted Cesare Borgia. And now this painting is on church walls, temple walls, university walls, all over the world. We've been lied to. So what Da Vinci did was to add a beard to the photo on the Last Supper painting to make it look like, okay, this is Christ.
Now that is just a little intro. I am going to watch this whole podcast. It's 2 hours and 58 minutes, and I will be giving you guys the best portion of this podcast. And if he says certain things, which I think he will, he has balls. Oh, he has balls. If I didn't have a son, my account would be banned in 2.5. Let's just say that. And probably my life, especially if I have influence that I do. Peace to guys. More to come. I'm going to show y'all some shit. I hope he says what I think he's going to say. I hope.
So those 4 Italian families, they are or were involved in the Vatican?
Yes, I'm so glad that you brought that up. The Medicis, the Orsini's, the Colonos, and the Farneses. Now, remember the painting of the Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. Now, we were taught that these men, supposedly men, were the 12 apostles. And we were taught that the individual in the middle of that 1400 painting was Jesus the Christ. But in the painting, the individual portraying Christ is not Christ himself. It's a woman by the name of Julia Farnese with the G. On her right-hand side, which would be to the left when you're looking at the painting, is not the Apostle St. John. It's her adolescent daughter, Laura Farnese, who was the illegitimate child of Pope Alexander VI. One of his sons, besides Giovanni Borgia, one of his other sons, this individual was the painting of Christ. Wait a minute now, I'm confused. Wait a minute now. Cesare Borgia, the painting from the chest on up with long hair, with a kind of a brown beige background looking like this, that's not the Christ of the Gospels. That photo was painted by Michelangelo, the second cousin, of Cesare Borgia, and also the homosexual lover of both Cesare Borgia and Leonardo da Vinci, painted Cesare Borgia. And now this painting is on church walls, temple walls, university walls, all over the world. We've been lied to. So what Da Vinci did was to add a beard to the photo on the Last Supper painting to make it look like, okay, this is Christ.
So I've heard the story that they depicted Jesus in the image of Cesare Borgia.
Yes.
Because Jesus didn't look like that at all.
At all. As a matter of fact, I personally, we have a class every Tuesday and Friday called the Global Master Class on YouTube. So your powerful listeners can listen to us every Tuesday and Friday night at 8 p.m. That's called the Global Master Class. So the term, before we get to Caesarea Borgia, I don't ever use the term church as in explaining the body of Christ. Prior to the 325 AD conference in Nicene, Turkey, when Constantine I, in his homosexual lover, Pope Sylvester, summoned 365 bishops from around the world.
Read that once again.
The Nicene Council. Yeah. So Constantine the Great, or the First, and his homosexual lover, Pope Sylvester, they were lovers, had summoned, oh, this is mind-blowing, 365 bishops from across the empire. That's interesting, for each day of the year, to come to Nicaea, Turkey, for the First Nicene Council, to extract not only 111 books, and I want your audience to hear me today, because when we talk about the totality of the 66 books, okay, and in actuality, 45 canonical books were extracted. So we had 111 books in the beginning, prior to the 325 AD conference, but it was the Vatican that extracted a 45-degree angle of God's mind, or 45 canonical books. So the 4 volumes of Enoch and the books of the Maccabees, so forth and so on, including the 3 volumes of the books of Adam and Eve. So, and why did the Vatican do this? Because within those 45 books, there is no mention of the term church. In Matthew's chapters 15, 16, and 17, there's no mention, because the term church was inserted after the 325 AD conference into place to replace the term body of Christ. Now, the term body of Christ is in some scriptures in the New Testament, but for the most part, we see the word church. Why? Why would Constantine do this, before we get back to Kobe Bryant? Because the term church is a Vatican term, okay? It comes from the name of the Greek goddess Circe, capital C-I-R-C''E. Any one of your powerful listeners can even go on throughout online, the internet, or even Wikipedia, type in Circe, C-I-R-C''E, the mother goddess that absorbs all earthly energy. And so the term Circe is a Vatican term meaning church. So Christ did not say, upon this rock,
I will build a church.
I will build my church, or the mother goddess Circe. He said, upon this rock I will build my body, and the gates of the mines of hell shall not prevail against it. So we have, not you and I, but the world has been cursing themselves with this term church, which is named after the first goddess in Greek mythology, Mother Circe, which also is a transliteration into the Latin and French term Kirke, K-I-R-K''E, which means mother goddess that absorbs energy.
So it's blasphemy.
It's blasphemy.
At the very beginning.
At the very beginning. And so that's why we have a 45-degree angle, or 45 books extracted from the first 111 books. Now we're down to 66, because these 45-degree books reveal that the term church was not in existence. The body of Christ, but not the term church, which means the goddess Circe, the one that absorbs energy. And let me go one step further in connection to Farnese and connection to Kobe Bryant, a Luciferian project completed.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research.